Hello everyone. Today is Thursday, 12 March 2020. After introducing the modal verbs in the previous lesson, our objective for today is that students will be able to identify and use the modal verbs of ability in writing tasks, dialogues, and exercises. Please open your books, page 138. In this lesson, we are going to focus on using the verbs can and could to talk about ability. You will also learn about the verbs be able to and manage to. These verbs are not modal verbs, but we cannot use the modal verbs can or could in every situation to talk about ability. So sometimes we need to use a different non-modal verb. First of all, let's look at using can and could to talk about ability. You can use can to talk about abilities in the present or the future. For example, she can speak Spanish very well. Or, can you come with us on Saturday? You can also use could to talk about general abilities in the past. For example, I could run much faster when I was younger. Here, when I was younger is a general ability, so I could run faster anytime I wanted. The second example, she could play the violin when she was a child. Again, this is a general ability about a longer period of time in the past. This is quite simple, but there are many situations where we cannot use can or could to talk about abilities. And we need to use a different verb. One of these verbs is be able to. Generally, can and be able to have the same meaning. So, you can usually use either verb without any difference in meaning. For example, she can speak Spanish very well, or she is able to speak Spanish very well. These two sentences have the same meaning. Another example, I could run much faster when I was younger, or I was able to run much faster when I was younger. Again, there is no difference in meaning here. However, can and could can be used in all verb tenses. If you want to use the present perfect, there is no way to use can or could, so you need to use be able to. For example, he has been able to swim since he was 2 years old. There is no way to use can or could in the sentence and keep the same meaning. We have to use be able to. Another example, I like being able to choose my own working hours. After like, we need a verb with ing, so we need to use be able to. Again, there's no way to use can or could. There are many cases like this. Generally, if you have a choice, it's better to use can or could because it makes your sentence simpler. We sometimes choose to use be able to even when can or could are possible because it sounds more formal. Okay, now let's look at ability in the past. Could versus be able to. Let's look at an example sentence. The traffic was really bad, but we could catch our train. Does it sound right to you? What do you think? If not, you're right. The sentence is not correct. But do you know why? Because this sentence is talking about a specific ability in the past. In this sentence, we're talking about a specific situation at a specific time. So in this case, you can't use could. We need to use a different verb. You could say, the traffic was really bad, but we were able to catch our train. Or, the traffic was really bad, but we managed to catch our train. In both of these sentences, we are talking about one moment, one train. It's a specific situation. That means we can't use could. We must use be able to or manage to. Let's look at some more examples. It was hard work, but we managed to finish everything on time. That means that we finished something specific at a specific moment. Another example, our car broke down on the way, but luckily I was able to fix it. Means that I fix it at a specific moment. It was not a general thing. There is another complication here. This difference between general and specific situations only applies to positive sentences. If your sentences are negative, there is no difference between could and be able to, whether the situation is general or specific. For example, we can say, it was hard work and we couldn't finish everything on time. Or, it was hard work and we weren't able to finish everything on time. Because these sentences are negative, it doesn't matter if the situation is general or specific. It's now possible to use both forms. To sum up, can and could and be able to generally have the same meaning unless you are talking about a specific situation in the past and the sentence is positive. If you are not sure about this, remember that you can use be able to in all of these sentences and never be wrong. Now, let's look at could in more detail. Could has two meanings. Look at these two sentences. I couldn't help you because I had too much to do. I couldn't help you even if I wanted to. In these two sentences, the verb could is used in different ways. Can you see the difference? Here's a question to check your understanding. How would you use be able to in these two sentences? Okay, in the first sentence, I couldn't help you because I had too much to do. The meaning is past. If we used be able to, we would say, I wasn't able to help you because I had too much to do. In the second sentence, could has a hypothetical or a conditional meaning. To use be able to, we would say, I wouldn't be able to help you even if I wanted to. So, could can have two meanings, a past meaning and a hypothetical meaning. You need to use the context of the sentence or the situation to understand what could means. For example, why couldn't he do it last week? Here, the time marker last week shows that could has a past meaning. Another example, we could work together if you wanted. Here, the end of the sentence with if shows that could has a hypothetical meaning. Let's review the main points on can, could, be able to from the lesson. You can use can or could to talk about abilities in the past, present, or future. Can, could, and be able to usually have the same meaning. Sometimes you need to use be able to. For example, if you need to use a verb with ing or if you need to use the present perfect tense. In the past, could and were able to are sometimes different. If you are talking about a specific situation and the sentence is positive, you can only use were able to, or managed to. Could can have two meanings, the past, same as were able to, or hypothetical, same as would be able to. Now please go ahead and work on exercises 1 and 2 on page 139. Thank you and have a good day.